Do listicles influence AI search visibility? There was a lot of noise in a lot of SEO communities where some people were saying that listicles now no longer work. And I was seeing it left, right and centre where listicles was being cited as being the source. So I was wondering where they got this data from, that listicles no longer being used to cite AI search visibility. So I managed to team up with Jay, who's got an amazing tool called Radarkit AI. And this does a lot of checking query fan out terms. It does AI search visibility, rank tracking every single day. And also the contribution, like what content type actually influences AI search visibility the most. So Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure. And obviously you give me the data back. And I'll jump straight in and I'll say, listicles 100%, absolutely 100% still influence AI search visibility the most. But Jay, can you share your screen and explain some of the data of what we ran? And this wasn't just for one or two search queries. This was tracking across hundreds of domains, tens of thousands of keywords in multiple geos. So are you able to, one, expand on what test we did, and then two, share your screen and show one or two examples of this working?
Sure. So yeah, so basically James gave me a lot of prompts to track for a lot of domains as well. And based on the data, we have been having a lot of arguments as well, for the query fan out and what's working, what's not working. So yeah, so basically based on the data, I always told James that, okay, let me just track that and I'll give you the data. So based on the data, out of lots of prompts and lots of domains, we found that, okay, listicles are the number one source which are actually influencing the results of these LLM models. So based on that data, you can take action. So if you want to, if you have a big team, if you want to go after a certain thing, so if you want to make videos, if you want to make Reddit content or make LinkedIn content, before that, what you can do is you can just prompt your stuff, track your content, what is performing in your particular niche, and then go after that. So based on that, I'll share my screen as well. I'll show you that, okay, for this particular project, there were listicles who were the number one influencing source as well. Yeah, I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, I found it quite scary, to be fair. The numbers was a lot higher than what I thought it would be. Jay's now going to share his screen and go through a couple of examples where I was thinking there was going to be a lot of different ways of influencing the AI search visibility, but it was over 50% in total of listicles was the source that was coming back. So while I'll let you share the screen now and show the examples.
Sure. So this is Zoho. So we have added Zoho from Germany, so German keywords as well. So we go to the citation data. You can see that, okay, for Zoho, the citation rank for Zoho is 7. So Zoho is on the 7th number in terms of citations, and the number one, obviously, it's Reddit, and then TechRadar, People Managing People, YouTube, and then some other websites. Forbes is also there. And then based on that, you can see that which distribution type is the number one source over here. As we discussed before, it is listicle. So listicle comes down to 53.7% of the times. Like for James it was more than 51 or something like that. Here it is 53%. So out of all the content that is there, out of all the prompts that we are tracking for Zoho, most of the content which is ranking is listicles. We can see that, okay, TechRadar is there. If you'll just open this page, you can see that, okay, it is a listicle. It is like best payroll software for small business. You can see that, okay, number one, it will be something, they have mentioned Gusto number one, and there will be QuickBooks, and then there is Paychecks, and then there is Rippling. So obviously what we did is we made our own small model that judges all the content, based on this one, like what is the content type. So based on that, we have found that, okay, Reddit holds 17%. So if you are a team who's managing the GEO for for Zoho Germany, and if you go after forum without checking the data that listicles are the primary source which are actually influencing the results, then you are utilizing your resources on a wrong source, or on a wrong marketing channel. So this is what we did for Zoho. You can see that, okay, listicles are number one. content distribution thing, go after listicles and you'll be fine, like if you are able to get links on a good websites which can get cited. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Just scroll up a little bit because I want to explain the screen a little bit on there.
sure,
So
sure.
on that content type distribution, just so anyone who's watching this, I think was it 14,000 different search queries was being searched. I think it was over 10 different countries. We did the most in the UK, the US, Canada. I think there was then like Germany, Spain, and several others. I think Australia was in there. But that where it's come back there now saying 53.7%, that was just for Soho. But in general, it was around 40 to 70%. Every single time I was looking at it was between 40 to 70% of the sources of the content type distribution was listicles. Overall, the overarching winner was listicles, and it was 51.2% of content type distributions was listicles. One other thing that I would say, just to expand upon it, it was quite interesting, and more, month by month. So the one that's in number 3 at present is social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. Now that is growing each time we seem to be searching it, only by 0.5%, but that does seem to keep growing. So for me, I want to try and be seen across all platforms. So I'm wanting to do the listicles, I'm wanting to do community and forum like Quora and Reddit and places like that. Socials are growing really well, and then obviously like reviews, comparison pages and stuff like that. But to summarize everything of what's been said, where 1 or 2 people in the industry are now saying listicles are dead, listicles don't work, we've ran the tests, 51.2% across multiple countries, tens of thousands of keywords, lots of different domains. Listicles was over 50% of sources that was being seen. So yes, the answer is listicles are still the number 1 way of influencing search visibility. Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks for doing these studies.
Thank you, James, thank you for having me.